So I lost the first part of this video. I don't know what happened. But anyway, what um what I had started off telling everyone was that this is a video about how I can my pressure can my pork that I got on sale the other day. And also that just to let you know, I'm not a master canner. I am just a lady who's trying to preserve meat for the family, trying to preserve our food. And so this isn't a tutorial. This is just how I do it. And also, I wanted to just let you all know that you can can meat, you can can all kinds of foods at home, and it's not hard to do. You just need to follow safety precautions. You need to do your homework. You need to research. Um, you need to look at reputable resources to learn. And it's not hard. It's not hard at all. Just be safe. And anyway, that was part of the my little opening that I missed. I don't know what happened to it. I lost it somehow. But anyway, just enjoy the show, I guess. Thanks. Got my meat in my big, you can't see it, but it's a big old bowl. But anyway, I ended up doing cutting up 2.5, not quite a half of the Boston butts, and I think that the rest will have to be just in another session, because I think this is going to fill up my canner. We'll see. If not, I'll have to cut more, but I really don't want to, because that really hurt my hands. But we're going to get started, and I'm going to change the camera so that you can see what I'm doing, because what's the use of doing this if you can't even see what I'm doing, right? So I'll be right back again. Let me change this up. Okay, let's see how that does. Can you see that better? I think you can. So I'm going to show you what I do on a few of these, and then we can go ahead and get those in the canner. I have a lot more bottles or jars than these, but you know, this is just so that we can show you what to do. Now what I'm doing is called raw pack. I am going to stuff my jar with the raw meat up to 1-inch headspace. I'm going to debubble it because we don't want any air. We want to get as much meat in there as we can, and then we'll wipe our rims with our water and vinegar solution, and then we can put on our lid and our ring. Now, when you are raw packing, and this is, I guess, me instructing, but you know, like I said in the beginning, I'm not a master canner, but this is the truth and I know it. But when you are raw packing meat, you want to start off with cold jars, a cold canner with cold water. Because if you have boiling water in your canner and you put this cold jar in there, then it could burst, and you don't want to go through all that. So it's a rule of thumb, and I'm sure there's other reasons too, but that's enough for me. That one thing right there is enough for me, you know, to do it the right way. But anyway, I'm going to fill these up. Oh, I didn't get my, hold on just a second. I am so unprepared for this.
Hold on, let me get my secret ingredient. Can I find my secret ingredient? Where's my secret ingredient? Oh, I found my secret ingredient. Now I just gotta find a... Okay. All right. Here's my secret ingredient. To each of these, I am going to add some Old Bay seasoning because we really like when we grill pork, or if we make like any kind of rub to go on, say ribs or a Boston butt that we're grilling, we always in that mix, we use some Old Bay, and I just thought it would be good. So I'm gonna do that. Let me go see if I can open it without hurting myself. It seems like everything I do, I end up hurting myself. Okay, are we ready? So what I'm going to do, and this is not for the faint of heart, dealing with raw meat, yuck. I'm going to just, I'm getting that raw meat in there, and I'm getting it good. I don't know, I could never be a butcher because I just don't like dealing with raw meat. Okay, now, that's about a inch, but we want to debubble this to make sure that we don't have any kind of air pockets in there. The reason being is your air pockets, as you know, or you may not know, but your air pockets is where one of the places that botulism can grow. So, but I mean, don't just beat the thing up. It'll be all right. But anyway, we've got that at an inch. Like I said, the next thing we're going to do, and I want to be real careful not to, I don't want to get any raw meat on that. I'm just going to put, this is 1/4 of a teaspoon. Oh, well, if I don't drop it all, I'm going to use 2 of these, and just that's a 1/2 teaspoon. I think that's going to be so good. And then you want to wipe your rims because you don't want any grease to come in contact with your lid, right? You want that very clean so it can have its best success at sealing. Say that 3 times fast, right? And then we just want to take our lid and our ring, just finger tight. You don't have to, you don't have to make it to where you can never open it. And that's it. That's all you got to do. We're going to do one more. We're going to grab all the, I'm so tired of dealing with this raw meat. Sure like eating it though, don't I? This is going to make some fantastic pulled pork on a lunch for everybody, or a quick meal in the middle of the night. Or I can see maybe some pork quesadillas, or let's see, I think that's about a, I gotta wipe my hands. That's about an inch, but let's see. I think this is gonna go down more. Yep, we're gonna be able to put some more in there. Let's try to get him in there. I'm gonna have to get something to keep my hands wiped. My hands are clean, by the way. My hands are extremely clean. You can ask my husband. I'm always cleaning my hands. Oh, I gotta put my seasoning in there. We just want to do about a 1/2 teaspoon. And then wipe your rim. And then just take your lids. Now, I don't know if I said it or not, but my lids and rings have just been hanging out in some previously boiled water, because that's what they say now is all that you need. You don't have to boil them you know, beforehand. Okay, let's do one more, and then after I get this last one done, then I'm going to continue on and get this canner going. I'll bring you back when I get to the canner so we can take a look at all of them inside. Now, did I say also? I don't know what I've said, but I added 2 inches of cold water to the canner already. You need 2 to 3 inches of cold water when you're raw packing. Well, you need 2 to 3 inches when you're pressure canning, but mine is cold because obviously I'm doing a cold pack. I gotta be real careful. I don't want to touch. Okay, let's debubble. Now, here's my question of the day. Wait a minute, I see an air pocket down there. Let's get that down there, grab. Now, here's my, I know I'm just kind of mumbling, aren't I? Here's my question of the day. As you just see, I am experimenting with Old Bay seasoning. My question is, what are some seasonings that you have added to meat? Doesn't have to be pork. It can be any meat that you've canned, if you've canned. And it doesn't have to be raw packed either. It can be, you know, it can be hot packed. But my question is, let's see if we can get that to go in there. My question is, what are some of the seasonings that you have used? And the second part to that question is, did you, that might be too much in there. My second part of that question is, did you like the seasoning after you used it? Were you glad that you tried it, or were you like, oh, I've wasted all of this? I made this taste bad. So that's my question. Okay, we're gonna add, I need to get that down a little bit more because I want 1 inch of headspace. Okay, now I'm gonna clean my edges, and then put the living jar on, just finger tight. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish these, and I'll meet you back at the canner. Okay, so I've got almost a full canner load. I'm 1 shy, but that's okay. And I had to use some of my regular mouth lids, but that's okay too. So remember, we're starting out with cold canner, cold water, because we had cold jars and cold contents. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my my canner, get that going. I'm going to put on the top lid, and we want to get to where we have a steady stream. And once we have a steady stream for 10 minutes, then we can go ahead and put our jiggler on and get up to pressure. My pressure is 10, so that's what I'm shooting for, or that's what I've got to get. I've got to get up to 10 pressure. So you'll need to look and see what pressure setting you have for your altitude. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this going and set up, and when we're at 10 minutes of pressure, I'll show you what we do next. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes and we've had this steady stream of steam. So now we can put the jiggler on, and we're going to get our pressure up to 10, and then, because I have pints, once we get the pressure up to 10, then we'll start counting the 75 minutes for pints. If I had quarts, it would be 90 minutes, but I have all pints. So I'll see you when we're at that point. Okay, so now we've got a steady stream of steam We're going to start the timer for 10 minutes, and once that is through, then we can put the jiggler on. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes and we've had this steady stream of steam. So now we can put the jiggler on, and we're going to get our pressure up to 10. And then, because I have pints, once we get the pressure up to 10, then we'll start counting the 75 minutes for pints. If I had quarts, it would be 90 minutes, but I have all pints. So, I'll see you when we're at that point. Okay, so now it's the next morning. After I pressure canned the meat, I had to run some errands with my daughter. It's prom season, and so we kind of had a mom and daughter night out to get some things done for that. But anyway, I ended up with 15 pints of pork, Boston pork, but as you can see, they all look great. Everything's sealed, and I'm gonna let these sit a little bit longer, and then after I drink my coffee, which is brewing in the back, I will wash these up, label them, and get them on my shelf. Anyway, thanks for coming along as I did this, and y'all have a blessed day. If you wouldn't mind, please like, share, and subscribe to my videos, and don't forget to click the little notification bell so that you'll know when I have more videos coming up. I appreciate all the support everyone's given me, and I want you all to have a blessed weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.